What is up, y'all? It's been a while, man, since I talked to y'all. Right now, I'm just gonna be soft resetting while I explain. But this is what I love and I hate about every generation. Okay. All right. Y'all already know where we're gonna start off with. Gen 1. All right. Here's what I love about Gen 1. All right. Now, I grew up with Gen 1. I'm old. I'm an old man. And I kind of miss this nostalgia factor and stuff like that. But here's what I think I love about Gen 1. Gen 1 gives me a sense of, let me go ahead and reset this. Give me a sense of like nostalgia in a way that it's the first game, so it has many problems. But I'll get to that in a second. But like, it was more imagination than anything, just doing the sprites and stuff like that. Check this out. This is from William, aka Burnstone, did this design for me for this Game Boy Advance SP. Gave it to me. Alright. But I love the fact that Gen 1, just when you look at the sprites and you look at the story and stuff like that, it's pretty simplistic. It was something that I personally, wasn't a fan of reading at the time. I was still developing. I was still like trying to, how do I explain this? I was trying to like find my way to get away from the real world. I had a not that best of a childhood, but something that I just wanted to like get away from the world for a little bit. And Gen 1 kind of scratched that itch, so it's like a personal nostalgia for me. Now, what I hate about Gen 1, let's be honest, it's buggy, it's sporadic at points. I'll give an example, like the Team Rocket stuff just kind of felt like this. Mind you, this is the first time I'm playing it. I'm in that mindset. It just came out of nowhere, and it's like, I don't want to do this Team Rocket stuff, but it's really holding me up from other things. And I'm a child, and aren't there police? But the police kind of let the bad guys in the village. Nobody cared about the bad guys. Like, that's what it felt. It just felt like, okay, why am I doing this? I'm still doing this. Okay. Yeah, that's what I love and hate about Gen 1. I know I didn't go as hard as you guys want me to, but I'm not going to go as hard on any generation. Disclaimer for this video, right? Alright, Gen 2. Gen 2 was very, what I love about it, it was very nostalgic for me as well too, but in a different sense. It was more or less like, okay, now I'm starting to learn about not only Japanese history, but it actually gave me, fun fact, I went to the library of my school and used to rent out I'm not making this up, a magazine about gold and silver and the leaks that they had heard about that they were going to, discuss and talk about. And it just got me hyped. It was one of those first video games for me that, like, I looked forward to more details. We didn't have, like, the internet and stuff like that as prevalent as it is today. So, with that said, it was something for me to actually, like, look forward to, And, this sounds horrible, but I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I thought the Gen 2 game was, like, in Spain already. I could have sworn it was in Spain, because I'm looking at these names. I'm like, Chikorita, Sudowoodo. Like, I was like, what language? This isn't even like Japanese type of dialect, because I don't know if you guys know this, but when I was 11, I taught myself Japanese. So, like, I was like, what? Chikoritas, the Sudowoodos, Wobbuffets. I'm like, is it Wobbuffet? I don't know. We were saying all sorts of stuff. I remember saying the legendary dog's names wrong. Which, by the way, when it's Raikou, the legendary electric dog, or beast, however you want to, or cat, or however you want to, like, I don't know, treat those animals. It's a beast, but it's Raikou. Raikou. That's how you say it in Japanese. I got flamed before on that. But yeah, we used to say Raikou, Suisween, Entai, all that stuff, right? No, that's just all improper. So yeah, the fact that people are still commenting about that, it's kind of weird because it's like we're in a new era. You're able to learn with the internet too. They tell you straight up, Inte, Suicune, Raiko. Like it's all out there. It's like public knowledge at this point. The bad part about Gen 2 is a lot of people say the bad part about Gen 2 is but this is my list, but a lot of people say the bad part is it can't stand alone. Like the fact that you go to Kanto and you do what you do. With Kanto, if it didn't have Kanto, then it wouldn't be a standalone game. Like Johto would fall apart. But I personally would say the worst part I have is like nothing was truly established yet when it comes to moves, stats, stuff like that, right? So, for instance, I like Sneasel. And Sneasel, he was brown in those games. Now he's like this bluish and pink and stuff like that. He's straight up garbage in that game. You know why? Because dark moves were special. So therefore, it literally wasted a mon. It's stuff like that. Getting like the Houndowers and the Houndars, or what was the other one? Houndoom, all that stuff. Houndoom, Houndar. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with that pronunciation. But like, you get what I'm saying. Like getting them at the very end of the game, it kind of is like, okay, well, why are these guys using Kingdra? Why are these guys using them? And I don't even get a chance to even see them, but they're using them against me. Like that it just wasn't fair to me. All right, Gen 3 game I'm currently playing. What I love about this gen, continued my approach about this. Fun fact: this is one of the first games I emulated and played on via the ROM. I beat the Japanese one before I even beat the American one, because Japan got it first. So I went ahead and I made sure that I bought the game, and then after I bought the game, I got the emulator in Japanese first because they were playing it already, but I pre-ordered the game and got it and all that stuff. So I thought, like, why not just play the game now? And I played it on my computer, beat the whole thing. Love this game. What I don't like about it is, like, the story at the time. I didn't understand that Japan had an issue with its fishermen and its, Tamahiro, if you ever get a chance, watch her video. She explains it more. But the expanding the land, the expanding the sea, stuff like that, there was a problem where the fishermen just weren't getting paid because of the jurisdictions and the problems that they were having. So, the government tried to take control of all of that, and yeah, you're just gonna have to watch that. Come on. Here we go. So yeah, the story didn't make sense to me at the time at all. And then you guys already know I'm not a fan of like 20 billion HMs in a game. All right. Gen 4, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. This is not a surprise. I'm in the service. I actually brought Platinum with me on one of my ships, Underways, and it's something that I look forward to. That it ended the day for me. It was my entertainment. It was my before bed thing, and I beat the whole game. Made it all the way up to Giratina, the Distortion World, so on and so forth. Like, it just means so much to me because that's what I had. That was my TV. That was my away from the terrible things that I've done. It was my job, but it was like you live where your job is. And for those who've been underway know what I'm talking about. You live with your job. You work with people, and then you don't get a break from those people. You just live with them, and that was my break. Just turning on my DS, putting that headphones on, and just simply playing. And Diamond and Pearl, I bought Diamond. My buddy bought Pearl. Shout out to Logan. And yeah, we had a race to see who can beat it, and we both like picked the counter opposites. So like if I had Glaceon, he would pick Leafeon, so on and so forth, right? I had Diamond, he had Pearl, and we just raced, and we used to like grab each other and turn our games off. purposely just so that the other person would lose progress. It was amazing. I had Torterra. He ended up having Empoleon, and he ended up beating me once we finished our games and we got to a point where we're like, let's battle now. It was great to actually not have a cable link and just truly battle, you know. And after that, yeah, sure enough, he beat me. Palkia was kind of broken. I didn't know that Palkia was like Kingdra on steroids. One weakness, Dragon. There was no Fairy type at that point. Gen 5. Gen 5 was kind of a weird part of my life because I was still in the service. And internet was prevalent. There was SarahB.net. And I ended up looking at the whole Pokedex because it had leaked. And the thing about the Pokedex was like, I got to pick my team before I even played the game. And when the game came out, we got it, brought it home. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I knew my team. My team was solid with their types. I had like the Galvantulas. I had the... Oh my god, my team was rock solid. And then later on, when you had Black 2, White 2, I wanted a full Dragon team, and man, that was disgusting. I had Salamence, Hydreigon, freaking Haxorus. I had, like, my Dragon team was disgusting. I had Latios. Who else did I have? I had Garchomp and someone else. I can't even remember. Oh, of course. My boy Zekrom. So it was disgusting. There was no fairies to balance that. It was just disgusting. I went on Rampage and was battling all my buddies, and they were like, yeah, you can't beat my Dragon team. You ain't ready. And I felt like a true Dragon gym leader. Like, it felt phenomenal. That's the positive thing. The negative thing, I'm going to have to split this up. The experience change. I don't know if you guys know this, but your level 32 Pidgeys that you were knocking out at the beginning of the game, yeah, not a thing anymore. Those level 32, those level 3 Pidgeys that you knocked out, I'm just giving an example. Pidgey, that was 32 experience. The more levels you go up, they become 28, and then 24 experience, and then 20 experience. And next thing you know, you're knocking them out. You're level 15, and they're giving you like 2 experience. That's just weird to me. Like, I get it. You want to do like a level cap thing to kind of make the game more fun or challenging or something. I don't know what they were thinking, but at the same time, it's not fun at that point. Like, I like being a god at the beginning of the game. You know what I'm saying? By just grinding. You know, I'm the type of person that evolves their Mon before you even talk to the professor. You get your Pokedex, do anything like that. The moment I get my Mon, I evolve that bad boy. And that just wasn't the case with that game. It could take literally up to 2.5 hours, and I've timed it. It could take 2.5 hours to get your starter in Gen 5 and evolve it to the second form. 2.5 hours. And then, like I said, this is a part 2. The other part I didn't really like was the fact that you have to do a lot to unlock this was the first game to do this. Give you a hard mode, like a difficulty mode. But you have to go out of your way to dang near complete the game just to unlock that feature. And it's like, why wasn't that there from the start? You could have changed the whole game. X and Y. I'll flat out go with the negative. Where's our Z? Okay? You got Mega Evolutions? I love Mega Evolutions. That was amazing. I was in the hospital at that point, and I remember seeing, like, I remember getting shinies. I remember just going to the shiny, what is it, the friend zone, or the friend park? I forget what it's called, but you know what I'm talking about, where the shiny rates are increased based off of your friends. The PSS system was amazing. X and Y was just great. It was great. It was just great. It was a good time. 3D models for the first time, and that blew everybody's mind. All right, we're sick of them now, but that at the time blew everybody's mind. Alright, so not much negative to say about Gen 6. We all know the story is what it is. The Elite Four was not that great because they could have been better. Like, there could have been a rematch. They only used like 3 or 4, I think, Pokemon against you. And they're not that, like, challenging, with the exception of Cynthia. Not Cynthia, but, how do you say your name? Diantha? It did introduce, like, dark gems and, like, fairy gems. That was pretty cool. No, dark gems were in Gen 5. My bad. Fairy gem. That's what it introduced. So that was cool. It introduced fairy types, so on and so forth. We got Sylveon. Now, let's move on to Gen 7. Gen 7, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Okay, I'll give you the positives. The positives are, it was a good nostalgia trip, alright? The advertisement was on point. Sun and Moon felt like a return to the game that we used to love back in the past, but with the 3D models and stuff like that. Z Crystals were pretty good, and not doing gym battles was refreshing, alright? And I told you guys I won't go too hard, but Gen 7 is not my favorite. It's probably one of my least favorites, but I would say the bad part with Gen 7 was just, I can't do the hand-holding. I can't. It's just unbearable. Fun fact, I actually fell asleep on Ultra Sun 3 times, and it was on a plane. I was like, I'm going to get through this. I have a plane ride home. I've got hours to just utilize on just this game. And sure enough, fell asleep 3 times. Woke up, I was like, no, I'm getting through this. Fell asleep again, woke up, and I was like, what's wrong with me? And I kept going, and I was just like, dude, they're still giving me, like, tutorials. They're still doing it. Alright? Gen 8, Sword and Shield. What I love about it, I have over 500 hours in that game. I like the game with its DLC entirety, okay? The music's phenomenal. The soundtrack is just really good. I don't know, they blew it out the water. I did like the fact that, like, how do I explain this? It felt like a return to, like, shinies being, like, rarer. Originally, we're talking originally, shinies being rarer. Okay, yeah, the knock 'em out method, so on and so forth, right? But you were still doing a lot of work. And it felt great again, you know, hatching eggs, stuff like that. They gave you multiple places to hatch eggs. Wild area was pretty cool. What I didn't like about it, I would say personally, there's a couple things, okay? Story, you were just strung along. Let's be honest with ourselves, guys. We were just strung along. And then the ending, they just kind of forced it. Like, forced that bad boy. They just, like, oh, we're at the ending. Oh, he's the villain, and that's why. Because of a reason that no one knows. Because we were strung along the whole time. We weren't told nothing. We were like, no, go worry about your gym battles and stuff like that. Like, just didn't jive well with me. So, yeah, that happened. Gen 9. It's not out yet, but I'm just curious. Why is it that, like, it looks good, but I don't have anything, the game's not out yet, to say. I just have my personal opinions on it. Why is it that we still have yet another water duck? Because we've got a couple of those by now. I've also noticed that even in the trailer that they provided us, there was the frame rate drops. That's not a good sign. You're supposed to show the best parts of the game, and it's kind of like Legends Arceus, where it's like, it doesn't show everything, and when it does show something, if a Pokemon's at a distance, they're moving like this. So, this is me going quack, quack, quack. But if they're at a distance, it's like this. Quack. Quack. Yeah, I got my sausage fingers and stuff like that. Or, it either does this. Quack. Where it's so bad frame rate. That's trying to like express like how it looks. I know I look ridiculous doing that, but for those who don't understand like frame rates and stuff like that, that actually can make people nauseated. It really does. Um, so yeah, that's my interpretation of that. And the reason why I say that is because nauseation, I've only experienced it once, and that was with Mario Galaxy. I felt actually nauseous playing a game, but I can't imagine like the people who's truly prone to this. And you guys know, Pokemon is the highest selling franchise of all time. It beats Disney, it beats Star Wars, Marvel, Spider-Man, Hello Kitty, Mickey Mouse. Like it beats all of those. Like not even close. And for us to get like these issues already with a trailer, the game's not out yet, so I can't judge, but I just don't want people to have a bad experience for something that they just want to enjoy. And we have every right to say like, yo, you're kind of making people sick with these bad frame rates. Like you're making them nauseous, and or and you know Pokemon's had a past of giving people seizures. So yeah, I just want everybody to have a good experience. This is not like a knock on them. This is just my personal gripes with each generation and stuff like that. And if they can fix or tweak, or you know, I can get mods or whatever, I'll enjoy it more, and then I'll pay more. Like it's not a bad thing to say that. But anyway, you guys have a good rest of your weekend. All right. Still waiting for this Groudon to shine. Love you guys. Take it easy. Let's see if this is the one. Here we go. This is the one. Is it shiny?